morning everyone, welcome back with breaking news. With me Sadiyatu who will bring you news about the discovery of insulin. So before 1920, children and young people who were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes had only days, weeks, months to live. And very famous clinicals like Dr. Joplin in the United States found ways to make these people live a little longer. A few months, sometimes a few years, by treating them with harsh diet avoiding carbohydrate intake. For instance, they called ketogenic diets. And by doing that, people just survived. They didn't really live, they just survived. They lost all their weight, all their muscle, all their fat tissue. And so it was really a very grim prognosis before the discovery of insulin. In 1921, it was like different things came together in a very lucky way with, on the one hand, an orthopedic surgeon returning from the war, found this painting who wanted to do research who connected Professor McLeod at the University of Toronto, interested in psychology, and McLeod gave painting some lab, and also allocated a student to him, Charles Bates, and asked him to work on this pancreatic extract. They started working on dogs, and what they thought is indeed that if they made extract from pancreas, they could achieve pancreatic stock and keep them alive. However, their extracts were impure, and that is where everything came together when they met Dr. Colip, who was a pharmacist who was about to develop a method to make a purified extract this time, not from dogs, but from cow pancreas, from the slaughterhouse. And so, it was at the end of 1921 that Colip was certain that his extract was pure enough to allow experiments in humans. And so, it was on the 10th of January 1922 that a young boy, Leonard Thompson, who was a 40 years old child dying from diabetes, was treated with insulin for the first time in Toronto Hospital. Very soon, the University of Toronto also realized that they could not really manufacture the amount of insulin that were needed to treat all the people living with diabetes, and desperate to get their hands on this miracle drug. And so they start to collaborate with industry, like the Connaught Laboratories, and then soon after with other biggest pharmaceutical companies, not only in North America, but also very soon in Europe. Very soon, people start altering the nature of the insulin they were using to treat patients with diabetes. The first thing, they tried to make the need for injection of insulin every 4 to 6 hours less. And so they tried to make the insulin longer acting, and some of college called that the dark of age of insulin treatment in people with diabetes, because treating them only with a very longer insulin took even further from the psychology of what beta cell make as an insulin profile. And so, in the 40-second, 60-second, 50-second, and 70-second, people treating with just 1 or 2 injections of insulin per day mean that their glucose level were not well controlled at all. And so, what we discover is that bad glucose control to suffer long-term complications of diabetes like blindness, like kidney failure, and heart problems. The hunt for manufacturing different types of insulin, pure insulin, less immunogenic insulin, was really aided by the whole genetic engineering of bacteria and yeast, and therefore this new knowledge that we are now using is really the fruit of all of that discovery. The exciting bit about celebrating of insulin is that the party is not over yet. Indeed, we are still discovering from insulin. We are now at the beginning of being able to use oral insulin. We are seeing glucose-sensitive acting insulin. We are seeing liver, preferred insulin. So research on insulin is extremely active. So that's all the news about discovery of insulin. Hopefully it usefully. Thank you.